Yeah, that's fine. We're done. And if we're not done, I shall hit him. He's just twittered at us, by the way, in the last half hour, because he saw we were about to record and wanted us to acknowledge OpenSim's birthday. So. I need to go through these tags. Well, I mean, the Science Sim is built on OpenSim, right? So that works perfectly. Hello, it's Andy Piper here, coming to you from Dogear-Nation's Hampshire, UK recording studio. I'm joined in the recording studio today, but not on the mic at the moment, with one of our listeners, Alexis. And how are you doing, Michael? What's cool, I had a really enjoyable day on what is quickly becoming my Social Software Wednesday, and that's been 2 weeks in a row now, where I went in to talk to a degree student who's doing a degree in marketing, actually, and had a chat with him about how social software is being used increasingly in marketing, but not from a marketer's perspective, from a kind of a consumer's perspective. So that was really good fun, and I hope it was useful to him. And I don't know what next Wednesday will hold in my Social Software Wednesday. Will I be thrown off the show if I say that I've never logged onto an OpenSim? Actually, that's not true. I have. Curriculum vitae. I was going to say I think it's very cool, especially because Torley is really known for creativity, and I think this medium is really ideal for. And I've said this a lot in my own presentations, right? My content is my CV, right? It's not just my website and my blog. The aggregation of all my online personae and my content is becoming my CV, because people can just see what I'm producing. And Torley has always produced, as well as being a friendly person, has always produced, he's got on the visual CV here, his free textures, his different designs and images, sketches, his YouTube stuff that he's made to demo in-world characteristics in Second Life. He's got some music on there, so it's absolutely ideal, I think, for drawing together all of that content. And how easy is it really for anyone to represent themselves on paper these days? He's got some really important things. I mean, he's got traditional typing, 110 words per minute or whatever, but he's also got blogging, he's got music experience, he's got virtual world photography. It's a non-traditional skill, but actually it's really important. Potentially as social media goes forward, video tutorials and screencasting, that's something I've dabbled a little bit in, but I certainly wouldn't claim to be an expert. But it's all useful experience and all useful skills to bring to technology roles today in particular. You can only search by number though, right? So the one that I've got my name on, I don't remember my number. I'm going to go and see if I can find it. I think that'll be, there we are. It's no, that's not the one. System and method, I know it's got that in it. Something like that. I'm going to go and generate a international. That doesn't seem to be a valid pattern number. That's a shame, isn't it? I don't know, it's too hard. How do you find the patent number on this thing? I what you've been talking about that stuff, and I've obviously been listening and agreeing with many of the things. I've just been going through every number I can find on the patent I'd had filed to try and work out which one might bring me back the PDF of it. And so far I've found the G.H. Hurd vulcanizing regulator, which was patented June the 8th, 1869. So clearly that's not the right number. and something else that seemed to be to do with fire regulations or something. So we've got a name for this section now? Wow. I thought it was just random techie stuff. Technotronic, okay, cool. I wouldn't be surprised if there was a York Times in Old York, but I haven't actually checked it out. I'm going to find out now. So there's a York News Times, which is the local daily newspaper providing complete information about York and the surrounding areas. Presumably they're not allowed to call themselves the York Times. Oh no, this is York, Nebraska. Sorry, I beg your pardon. I wonder if there's a YorkTimes.com. Sorry, rat hole. Read about, what was it? I downloaded it the week that the beta came out. Sorry, the beta? Beta? What am I supposed to call it? The beta? I'm going to call it beta because I'm English. Yeah. And then I didn't install it anywhere. And then I got an email saying, you haven't installed it yet. Remember, you've got to install it and activate it within 30 days. And I thought, So what have we learned about licensing here? Right, absolutely. I've just noticed that Duckboxer is asking what our recording slot is and whether we're on Kite today, and just explaining on Twitter that we're not. and also accelerated ahead of me in Twitter follower growth this week. Not that I'm bitter or anything. Well, who uses the Kindle? I mean, it's a dead device, isn't it? People even do podcasts on Kindles, and books and things, but the audience is smaller than the person who records it. That's worrying. Well, isn't it interesting though? Do you remember Amazon ever having called a press conference? I mean, it's a common thing for companies like Apple to do, but I don't remember actually Amazon. I think you're going to have to explain that comment. So I played around because I've just got a new HD camera, although it's one of these little USB ones, and I edited a little bit of footage that I took in London with iMovie 09, and I tried to use a bunch of different effects. So I've got the map effect in there, I've got some of the new transitions. I played around with some of the speed conversions, which is really nice. Although unfortunately there's a typo which I twittered about in the UI where they've got an apostrophe where there shouldn't be one. Yeah, bad user. Well, not bad user interfaces, but user interface slip-ups. I didn't find the stabilization work brilliantly, but I think that's probably because of the nature of the motion. I was tending to move the camera around quite a lot rather than it kind of pointing in a static location. So I think that was partly the problem. But I have to say, I mean, it's just an absolutely stunning advance over the previous version. We lost Michael. Final thoughts. When did all of this audio-visual stuff get so complicated? Because I'm trying to sort out a new. I've mentioned the HD TV. I'm trying to sort out a new home cinema receiver and Blu-ray player and all that stuff. And when I went through this process, when we went DVD a few years ago, and actually it really wasn't that long ago in comparison to how long video was around. I kind of understood it, but now I'm looking at all these things, and despite being a techie, I'm still struggling with cables and big bits of electronics and things, and I really wish it was easier. So my final thought is, somebody fix it. Thank you for all your tags. We really appreciate. We're getting lots of listener tags the last few weeks, and that's what drives the show. So do keep on tagging with Dogear-Nation on Delicious. Bye bye.